Hey YouTube, Ryan here. We're back at it again, finding those gaps and cracks around the windows and doors. This might apply to you if you have an older home. Mine was built in 1971, and it always seems to be a little more chilly around the windows. So if you do a little investigation, you can usually find problems like I've found today. This will probably apply to your house if you have an older home. I'm going to go ahead and show you what we're working on today. Here around this window, you can see usually the typical window with your trim might be painted. You have your stool up here. On the bottom here, you have your apron. So if your trim is cold, if you can feel it and it feels cold, you might not have any insulation behind it like myself. I usually recommend the Dasco Pro here. It's a great slim pry bar that you'll need. So if you want to do a little investigating, you kind of want to start on the ends here. Work your pry bar up and gently pop it out. You can typically see where your nails are. There's 3 of them in here, and you want to work around that nail right up behind it. Just go slow, just pry it out. If you can get your fingers behind there and hold it as you work your way down, and pop this lower apron off, and it will reveal something like this. You can see mine here, no insulation. Drywall with the plaster on it doesn't come all the way to the bottom of the window. Probably 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch gap all the way across the bottom. I'm going to show you how to fix it. Alright, so the materials that you're going to need, of course, is some insulation, and I also recommend a sealing tape. Not like the ceiling above you. I mean like a good quality, like a sealing tape. This is the T-Rex brand. I usually recommend T-Rex or the Gorilla Tape. It's a high adhesive, very strong tape. I don't recommend the usual duct tape brand. It's just not strong and doesn't hold up. I've done several windows like this throughout the house. About a couple years ago, and took the trim off, and the tape's still holding up and looks great. So with this, you're gonna have some loose plaster along here that you'll want to kind of get out, such as this. We'll knock that down. If you have any kind of registers or air conditioning registers below, you want to cover those up because it might get a little dirty here, but I've already removed some of this. Just get anything loose out. You're going to want to get it with your vacuum real quick as well. Get it nice and clean. So at Lowe's, Home Depot, whichever you prefer, they usually have rolls of the insulation, the unfaced insulation. I bought a very large roll. It was $40. It should be enough to do every window in the house. And what you're going to want to do, you can use your pry bar if you have one, your screwdriver. You just want to go ahead and just start filling in. It's not as bad right here. Stuff it into your cavity. You don't want to stuff it in there too tight because you'll begin to lose your R value with your insulation. Yeah, it depends how deep the void is, how far you can stuff the insulation back there. I would stuff it back there as far as it'll go. See, that just disappeared on me. It's an extremely easy project to do. Doesn't cost a lot. And I guarantee you the returns, the savings on your energy bills, if you do every window that has this problem here, you will definitely notice. I've done my front window here already. I have a large picture window with 2 surrounding windows, and I did those this past weekend, and it's just a huge difference with the, you can barely notice the cars. You can't even really hear the cars driving past the house out front anymore. Just doing something as small as this makes such a big difference. But you want to keep filling that gap. As long as it'll take that insulation, keep putting it in there. That's looking pretty good there. Don't need as much down here. Just a little bit here. And a little more right here. Then we're on to the next step. So if you stuff that in there, get it nice and flat. And just a little here. And now, got my scissors here. Now we're going to come back with our sealing tape. And this is going to like 100% air seal the bottom here. So I usually do about 18 to 24 inches at a time. Make sure this is nice and clean so you get good adhesion. And the T-Rex tape here, it's got high tack to it, really strong adhesive. So once you put it up here and press it in place, it's not going anywhere. Yeah, and you'll have to see for yourself the difference that this makes. This is it makes a huge difference with I think how comfortable your home is, the amount of time that your air conditioning, your heater runs. There. Now that is 100% sealed up. There will be no air exchange, no air coming in, no air getting out. And it's the same, it has been the same for all of my windows around. So if you conquer this and you're comfortable with it, I would start on the trim around the sides and around the top as well. Because chances are if it's like this at the bottom, you're gonna have maybe a 1/2 inch to a 1 inch gap all the way around. And as long as you have some more insulation and some more tape available, it's not going to hurt. It will make a huge difference. And yeah, after that, the only thing there's to do, whether you have a pneumatic stapler or pneumatic nailer, or maybe you were lucky enough to pull your nails out straight, just put your apron back on and that will be it. Thanks for watching.